You're listening to Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. How you guys doing?
Doing excellent.
We're doing good. We're in the Halloween spirit.
Good. Just before we get started, I don't want any of the lovely church folks that watch this podcast to be offended by the decor.
Wait a minute. If they were offended by anything,
offended by
it
last
would
show,
have been by last week's. You can be offended.
Master mouth, baby.
2 times.
So today, you guys, you know what? This is what I'm going to do because that's going to just get way too hot.
I was wondering if you was going to just sweat it out.
I'm not going to do the whole thing with that thing on because it's just not going to work out. But real quick, everybody, this week is going to be a great conversation because we're going to talk about something that I felt like we've never touched on. And we're going to figure out, guys, if we're toxic. Well, here's the thing. Do you think at all that do you think you have any toxic traits about yourself, Jess?
I don't know. I can count them on 10 people's hands. So, yes. Doesn't everybody have toxic traits?
I would think so. Yeah. No one's perfect. So.
Wait a minute. Define a toxic trait.
I don't know. Like, is there times that you don't take responsibility for things?
Is that toxic? Or is that just...
I have a list of toxic traits, and that's definitely one of them.
Oh.
With an explanation.
Okay.
Marcus, do you ever think that you're toxic or feel toxic?
Do I feel toxic?
Not feel toxic, I guess, but like, do you think you ever give off like toxicity?
I would say yes. I focus on being in control of my emotions, things that I say. I like to bury things, but from time to time, I lash out. I let it build up, which isn't a good thing, and hold stuff in. I've gotten better over time, over the years, right? I got these claws, and I'm kind of like trying not to hit the mic, but yeah, it happens, and I'm not perfect, and
you're not.
But I'm aware of. I can feel it if I'm doing some toxic stuff. I feel like I need to come through and clean it up.
But you're not perfect.
Not all the time. Not all the time.
But you know, Marcus, that's great that you say that, because before we dive into this, one of the first things I found in this really good article that's about, just being toxic or toxic relationships, they asked the question, like, are you self-aware? So being self-aware means being honest with yourself and being open to improving your behavioral habits by checking in with yourself. And you may recognize that the problem is not always the other person. It could be you too.
Yes. I have become more self-aware over the years. I think it takes time. Maybe some people just are naturally more self-aware, but for others, it takes time to become self-aware.
I think it's a part of communication. Being self-aware is being open to what somebody else is saying, kind of, but not really, though. If you're self-aware, it's
about yourself.
I know, but it's acknowledging, because maybe I say, no, Jess, you think you're doing this, or you may say, no, Marcus, you think you're on this level, you think you're doing this, but this is what I see. So to be able to take maybe some criticism and be like, okay, maybe, and then be self-aware and take that in and be like, okay, maybe I'm not doing as well as I thought, or my way is not always the right way. So let me listen to what my partner's saying.
Okay, so you're not self-aware is what you're saying.
I am. I don't listen to you. And when you give, and when you got things to say.
Do you?
Of where I may have some.
You know what? Are you threatening me right now?
Some work.
Put them damn knives away. So,
and we talk about it though, and I'm okay. That's being coachable.
Like here's a toxic trait. One of them I want to dive into is being judgmental. So they say, are you judging someone when they confide in you? Are you judging others for how they're living their own life? In a romantic relationship, for example, if your partner comes to you with a concern or discussion, it's important to create a safe space for them so they can voice their opinions. Making the other feel heard and listened to goes hand in hand with a healthy relationship. This is a good time to recognize if you're being too judgmental or too hard on someone. Now, not settling and having standards is one thing, but if you're judging a friend or a partner off of minuscule things that don't define their character, it's wise to recognize that and actively tell yourself to stop. So do you guys ever find yourself at all doing that?
Everybody judges. And when you say you are not judgmental, I'm not judging, but you're a fucking lie. Like, it is literally impossible for someone to be judgment free. It's not possible. So everybody judges.
Why do you say that, Jess? Because you've said that a few times, and I know like you really, really stand by that. Is there something that may have happened to you in your life or things that you've experienced that you've been like, okay, like this has happened every time I've been in this kind of situation, there's always been this type of judgmental outcome that like, I want to know like what shaped your thinking to feel that way?
Because everybody, when they're talking to somebody or know somebody, there is something going on in their head. I mean, it's like you're having a conversation with somebody and somebody is telling you something maybe that isn't something that you would do or whatever. Are you really like, oh God, that is just, wow. Okay, good job. No, you're judging that person.
Well,
if that makes sense.
What I think, or what I would say, that there's a difference between judgment and observation. Maybe
what?
Everybody can see in most cases, all right. But when you're looking at somebody, or you're looking at a situation, or you're looking at somebody's actions, and you're like, okay, this person is acting like this. It may not always be a judgment. I see judgment as a negative thing. But if you observe how people are moving, observe how people act in different situations, different relationships, judgment it can be a negative thing. That's just how I think about it. But
right.
Of course, we can always make a observation of,
right,
how people look and how they're acting.
But when you see people behaving a certain way and doing certain things, I feel like it's impossible to just turn the other cheek.
Well, can you replace that, Jess, with empathy? Of like I say it all the time.
You can empathize and be judgmental. You can do both.
But like
both can be achieved.
But like what I'm saying is like, can you like replace that with empathy, and then maybe even like try to even put yourself in that person's position, or to see it from their point of view of like, well, yeah, like, damn, that shit's fucked up, or, whatever, like that sucks that they have to live through that or deal with that, instead of like being like, well, passing judgment. I don't know. Cause I always look at judgment in just a negative light. Like I can't in any way see it in like a positive way. I don't know. That's just what I believe.
Right.
But I just feel like there's other things you can like replace that with, right? I would think.
Yes, you can in your head try to empathize with someone or look somebody in the eyes and go, "Oh my God. Oh God, that's so tough. I completely understand." You're judging. I'm sorry. Kel, you judge people. Excuse me. As a matter of fact, the most judgmental people are religious people. So everybody judges. If they're judging, everybody's judging.
But what if you don't care enough?
Tell me that you are judgment free. That makes it's just not possible. Sorry.
I wish it were. You don't think at all you don't think at all that a person can be self-aware enough to, let's say, even those kind of thoughts even jump in their head, like, because obviously, like, your brain's gonna do whatever it does, right? If it sees something or sees a certain situation, it's gonna just react the way it reacts, right?
Mhm.
But like, you don't think people have enough self-control to like stop that for a second and be like, hold on a minute, like, I shouldn't be judging this person. That's kind of fucked up. Because like, my thing is like, I feel like to judge somebody, you have to fucking care, right? And if I don't care enough, why am I gonna judge? Right?
Well, yeah, but if anything, I judge the most about things, people I don't care about. It's like judging. But I just believe you can tell yourself, I even do that at times, just pull it back. Don't be judgmental. But back here, it's still there. And it's kind of hard to, and you know, there's like quick judgments, right? You judge, you move on.
It's choices.
And it's one thing if you judge somebody and you're like, I'm not trying to associate with that person because they're this, that, this. But you can say, I ain't liking what she's doing. That ain't right. And you move on.
That's okay.
But you're judging.
Though. That's okay. And we talk about choices, and we got choices to like what people do. We got choices not to like what people do. So if we're going to make a judgment or observation and be like, okay, I don't like the way this person is, or the type of energy, or the way this person lives, or whatever, or they carry themselves in their relationship. It's judging, but it's observation, and we all have choices. So there is some blurred lines between the judgment, and when we go back to being toxic, I necessarily don't think it's toxic if you're making a choice. If you're judgmental and you don't do your homework, that's another thing, though. Just to judge just from surface level stuff.
Right.
Yeah, you got to give people a fair shake, I think. Right.
You do. And so you, like I said, you can initially judge somebody, but it goes away.
And sometimes you got to meet people where they're at. You got to meet some people where they're at, because some people just won't change. And that's just how they are. And you have that choice.
You do have that choice.
You have that choice. I'm going to rock with you or I'm not.
Right. Life is full of judgment. I mean, we're judged all of the freaking time. All of the time.
Hey, I want to ask you guys. I like asking all my friends, and especially my friends that have been married for a long time, this because you know, when you've been together for someone as long as you guys have been together for, you've had probably every type of like disagreement or every type of like argument. Who would you say in you guys' relationship does the most gaslighting?
I think it's both of us.
That's what I was going to say. It's probably closer to 50-50 than people may think, just off of judging our...
Right. I'm still judging this man over here. Go ahead.
But you talked about, Kale, like about if you care enough to judge people, but at the same time, on the flip side of it, as a recipient of the judgment, do I care? And I don't know if, well, I do care because I want to make you happy. I want to be good for you. I want to be everything you need. But at the same time, you need to meet me where I'm at. I can make improvements, but to change my whole being.
Well, you can't do that.
I know. Yeah. So I'm not okay with that. But
I thought it was if you care about the person, but you're talking about.
I'm talking about both.
Right.
I'm talking about the judgment. If the judgment is coming my way, or the constructive criticism is better, I guess a better word.
It's not, it doesn't even have to be, you don't even have to say anything.
So what's the judgment that you're still judging me about currently now?
Jesus Christ.
You said you're still judging me. Can you hear the The scrape
I
of the low beard, though. This is the low beard.
I am judging you right now for wearing those ugly ass gold teeth. So,
but it goes with the Freddy, though. It kind of gives me the yellow teeth appearance of being burned in the furnace. And
you did good. I think you did really good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I put it together.
Hey, Marcus.
7 minutes.
Marcus, don't let her hate on them golds, man. All I see is you
she
shining,
don't like
brother.
The golds at all, and I'm good with that.
Kel, in the back of your head, judging. But yeah, and maybe some people, I don't know. There's so many things that I'm like, I just call bullshit on everything. People are like, I don't care. Nothing affects. No. Everybody cares. Nobody wants to be judged. Nobody wants to feel like they're being talked about. Nobody wants to feel isolated. I don't know.
But that's everything's if you care, though. You have to care about that kind of stuff. I feel
people do care, though, because I'm
care about that kind of shit.
I'm one of those guys, Kel. I like to say I don't care about a lot of stuff, but I care. But then I don't, though. But all this is a lot of gray. It makes it tough.
If we didn't care about people's judgments and shit, people would be doing a lot of shit. They would be doing whatever they want.
I know, but people are so negative. That's my thing.
You got to care.
You can't care about everything, though. You can't please everybody. That's the thing. Ever.
I've said it before. Like the moment I stopped caring about a lot of shit and a lot of shit that people I thought cared about what had to do with me, that's when I felt like I became free. I felt like in my life, the most when I was like dealing with depression and when I was depressed is when I fucking cared about what other people thought. And I swear that's when I was like at my unhappiest. A lot of that shit, you're the one like that has to give that shit life. Like if you give that shit life, then it matters. But if you don't give it life, then who gives a fuck? Do you care about that? Do you fester in that? Do you like give that life, or do you just say, well, fuck it? I know people are going to feel the way they're going to feel.
I think it depends. I think you have to be a really self-assured, completely 100% secure with who you are and your actions and your behavior to just brush stuff off. And I think that's rare. What do you think?
I think it
happens. It's possible, but
I think it's a focus thing and where you put your energy. Are you going to put your energy on yourself?
That's exactly
or are you going to put your energy into, pleasing others? I think both can be accomplished, but where are you going to put the most investment at?
And I'm a woman, so it's different. It is different for us. We have a lot of expectations.
True, but not true.
A lot of things to live up to. People will judge you as a mother. People will judge you as a wife. People judge your body. People judge your makeup. People judge your hair, your look. We have to deal with a lot. So for someone to be like, I just let it roll off my shoulder. You can do it a few times, but if it keeps happening and you keep experiencing that type of judgment, it is going to affect you.
And see,
it is. There's only so much you can take.
I would say to a guy that's always glass half full, instead of worrying about what people say, having the self-awareness and be like, okay, I want to make sure that these things are right. I want to make sure my makeup is right. I want to make sure my appearance is right. Not because of what other people are saying, just because that's what I want to do. That's me, and that's where I'm going to focus my energy. It's not because of what other people say. It's just because that's what makes you happy, right?
Well, you know what? My
easier said than done. Sorry,
family has judged me, and it hurt.
Right. Trauma.
It hurt.
Traumatic experiences.
It hurts. It definitely hurts, especially when it's the people that you care about and love that judge you. And these are grown ass people judging me. So you can say, oh, it's about being, so you got to know where you're at. But
are you talking about from a young age, or are you talking about as an adult? Because I'm talking about as a grown up that may be able to figure this thing out.
You know what I went through.
I know, yeah, but I'm saying where
judgment.
I'm coming from is from the adult place. It's harder to do it as a younger person. Of course it is. You don't know. You're trying to find yourself, and you don't know exactly who you are and where you're at. I went through judgment. All of us go through judgment, but you're
still going through judgment.
Right. But I don't so much care about it, though. And that's where I've grown. And that's my defense mechanism. I don't so much care about what people think because I know it's coming. I know the judgment's coming. So there's nothing I can do to stop that. So I'd rather focus my energy on me and my positivity and where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's real. Like I'm right there with you guys. I'm a person that has been judged by my entire family, still get judged by my entire family. I have family members and siblings that I haven't talked to now in almost a year. You know what I'm saying? And Lord knows what they say about me behind my back. But the thing that I've learned, and I think this is just one of those things from just going to therapy, is that you cannot give someone else the power to dictate your happiness. Fuck that. Like, because you can't give people that.
You'll never please them 100%.
That's it. At the end of the day, I know I will never please these people. I will never please them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta take that back. Like you can't. So that's why, like you said, Jess, like when you're just like, well, people say, oh, well, you got to work on you. It's like, no, essentially, you have to be selfish at that point with your love, especially with your self-love, because
it's not even being selfish. It's just taking care of self.
Right. It's just right.
It's just taking care of self.
Like, right. So it's just one of those things where it's like, why would I try or keep trying so hard to try to appease these people where I know that I'll never be able to appease these people? And if for me to finally appease them is for them to see me fail. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not about to fail.
And then they're happy. And then they come to say, and then they're like,
they're your best friend.
Do you need anything, Jess? Can I help you out?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Misery loves company. And so at the end of the day, take your happiness back.
Right.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
Yeah.
Don't give it that energy.
Yeah, don't give that shit.
But at
life,
the same
man.
time, it's hard.
It takes practice.
It's hard.
It takes practice. You got to practice it. You got to live
practice
in it.
Not giving a fuck.
Yes,
pretty
real.
much.
You got to practice everything.
But you know what the real like freaky part about it is though? Like it should give you a second to really step back within yourself and think like, whoa, this is how powerful the brain is. Because at the end of the day, it's all up here, right? Mm-hmm. They're not doing anything to you to fucking actually hinder you or stop you guys from living a good life and taking care of your family and your kids. It's all shit up here. Because at the end of the day, it's all words and perspective, right? So it's just finding a way to do something with all that shit that's up here. Thoughts are powerful, and thoughts and words will make your brain do a lot of shit. Yeah, it'll make you start thinking a lot of different ways and do a lot of weird shit. So it's just like we said in the very beginning, just trying to be as self-aware as you can be, to be like, hold on, wait a minute, like, stop. I'm not going to give them that, So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Another toxic trait. Who in you guys' relationship is the most manipulative? Like, who's the manipulator?
Did we go over this before?
No, we didn't.
Oh.
So answer the question.
Well, me, of course. Shit. I think women in general, we're pretty good. We are pretty good at getting.
Do you ever guilt Marcus into doing something for you, or do you ever exploit his emotions?
I just guilted him into going downstairs and getting me a snack a couple of nights ago. So,
No, that's good manipulation, though. You was hungry.
You know what, though? You can flip the manipulation. I know. I'm not, sometimes I may play dumb, like I don't get it, but I understand. I get it. I see where you're coming from. I'm on my Professor X. I know. Sometimes I know what you're thinking before you even do it. I can see what you're doing.
I feel the same about you.
I know.
And I think I just told you this.
Right.
I know you.
I know, but you think you know me, but you have
no idea.
Finish it. There you go. But in a relationship, I think that's the dance. I say it all the time. We're not so much manipulating.
I was going to say, I don't think it's manipulating. I think he's just
kind of.
We're just
where we're at. You want me to do this, and I know if I hit some trigger words or do some trigger responses, this is what I'm gonna get. And sometime I'm here. I want all the smoke, so I'm throwing everything I got. But sometimes I just ain't got the time. So, okay, I'm gonna manipulate my response or my actions in order to keep the peace, or not to cause friction.
Okay.
Or to get my way as well.
Is there a lot of mental jousting in you guys' relationship?
Mental jousting, Kel.
That's what it sounds. That's what it feels like.
Probably, yes.
I think that's in every relationship, though.
It is. It is in every relationship, but it's like I can't really manipulate somebody that, like, where there's, I don't know. I guess there can be manipulation where there's love, but I don't have to manipulate.
Right.
Can't even get it out at this point.
Right.
Manipulate.
I want the best for you, so you don't have to manipulate with me to get your way, because I want you to have your way all the time, right?
It's different when you have somebody that wants the best for you. Oh God, close your mouth.
No, I get it. Like, just just making it work, making it work, and knowing each other so well that there's really no need for manipulation. I was going to say, we don't have to
manipulate each other. It's besides for getting snacks at night.
Especially like you guys' deal, it's almost like you just know what to say to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like I know,
or you know what not to say to each other.
But we do it. I do it anyway,
and I know that.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't want,
no smoke.
Hiroshima, then we gotta
what
act. We gotta act accordingly. If we don't want an explosion or a big fallout,
right? Okay. Next, toxic trait.
Well, we're now gonna just actually look at more of the positive side, and
thank you.
Get out of the toxic part,
right? Half full.
Yeah, we're gonna talk now about internal self-awareness and external self-awareness, because there has to be a solution, right? So internal self-awareness refers to how we fit in with our environment and how we impact others. This type of self-awareness relates to how clearly we see our own values, passions, aspirations, reflections, including thoughts, feelings, reactions, including thoughts, feelings, behaviors, strengths, and weaknesses.
That comes with time and age.
Yeah.
And life experience.
Agreed. Wisdom, for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Maturity.
For sure.
Yeah. Maturity.
Relationship maturity, because early relationships sometimes don't have the legs to handle certain stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
People be ready to jump ship, but a mature relationship can handle a little, a little flat tire, right?
Jesus.
Right? Right?
Have you guys ever at all had conversations, I would say, especially with your older girls, about like self-awareness and just like being aware of shit? Like when it comes to just like their friendships and relationships. Because I know, like, I remember like you telling me about the issue Carmen had with the one girl growing up or whatever, and making her aware of like, listen, like this girl's not your friend,
right?
have you guys had those type of conversations with them?
We have, and we have. Our oldest is more self-aware than our middle daughter and our third daughter. So I think it just comes with time and age and like I said, experience. But some people aren't self-aware, very self-aware.
What do you mean when you say self-aware? I guess both you guys, like when it comes to, because what I tell Carm every morning on the days that I drop her off, I'm like, yeah, you just be the best you. It's not so much about everybody else, right? And you be the best you, and that's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly where you need to be. It's not about, okay, and I know kids at that age, everybody wants to fit in, everybody wants to be a part of the group, but you be the best you, and that is good enough for dad. And I know that's not.
You're right.
And that's
Marcus.
not always what kids want to hear, though. But
right.
You know, I'm on it.
But I think what we mean by self-aware, or at least what I mean by self-aware, is like, I know Carmen's at that age where she's gonna start, and she might already now like have her own like beliefs. She's starting to have her own beliefs,
yes,
her own like values,
yes,
and things like that. So just being like self-aware of that, and just being aware of like, you know, her feelings and understanding her strengths and weaknesses, and knowing that her weaknesses aren't a weakness, but it's, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that.
Yes. It's called, what is it called in adolescence? I think it's formal thought or something like that. And that develops as your prefrontal cortex develops. And so that's when you develop a little bit more of the self-awareness, when you start adopting or, you know, coming up with your own beliefs and figuring out who you are and all that kind of stuff. And continues with, you know, just all of the things that you go through and realize the realizations, those start to happen around Carmen's age. And
And then there's external self-awareness, and I think this kind of sort of relates to the judgment conversation we just had a couple seconds ago. But external self-awareness means understanding how people view us. So
I was getting ready to say that.
But here's the thing though, how it's understanding and knowing how we see ourselves and how others see us are two very different experiences. And I feel like if you understand that, and you're in tune with that and centered with that, then like caring about the judgment shit, like that shit goes out the window, because you completely understand that, well, I know who I am. Why do I care how this person views me? I know they view me in this other light. That's fine, but I know I'm not that person because I know who I am.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I believe it's a skill to acquire, to be that way, and to just have the fuck it attitude. But I did hear, as you grow older, like into your late 30s and early 40s, that you really do realize who you are. You're grounded in your beliefs, and you care less. You still care though, but you care a lot less about what other people think. Because when you're younger, we see ourselves how other people see us. If that makes sense.
It does. So that makes a lot of sense.
Right?
Yeah.
We see ourselves through other people, kind of like what you said, Kel. And that gives us our identity and our sense of self. So.
Right. It's two sides of it, of course. But like you said, as you get older.
You're supposed to grow out of that. But
as you get older, and you get to a place to where, okay, I'm here, and you know, this is where I'm locked in, and this is where I am, and nobody can tell me anything different. People may have different opinions, but this is where I'm at, and I'm comfortable in that. And there's nothing anybody could tell me to change my mind about me. It's almost like not an inner cocky, but it's just really standing firm on how you view yourself and how you feel about yourself. And nobody can really change that.
Okay. What we were talking about just a couple of days ago, I think it just depends on the person.
It does, yeah.
Their background,
Mm-hmm.
what they've been through.
And the reps and the mental reps they've had at doing it.
The mental reps. Because me growing up with ADHD, it's difficult. It is difficult because I was always judged. I was always told these things. I was always this. I was always that. So now that I am older, that shit doesn't go away.
Trauma, right?
It doesn't go away.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it depends on the person and the circumstance and what they've been through as well. So,
I agree.
You found a good therapist?
Huh?
You found a good therapist?
Oh, I was in therapy for, I don't know, 3 years straight.
You got to keep going. You don't stop. That's
3
the
years
thing with
straight.
therapy is like, that's the thing about therapy though. Like you don't stop. You have to keep going. Like that's the one thing you essentially like are committed to it, and you just have to keep going. You have to keep going.
Yeah.
Like
There's
I think we
times
should
where I'm
talk
like,
about therapy more in the Black community. I think it can be.
no question. It's taboo.
Or I know that it's good for us to do that.
Well, this was good. Episode 39 of Truly Unruly. 39, you guys. And we have officially done this 1 year.
oh shit. We should have
1
had
year anniversary.
or something.
I know, yeah.
We'll
do it next
we got
show.
a couple hundred more to go, homie.
Yeah.
So
We made it.
Many
But,
more. Much more.
yeah, but this was great. Episode 39, Truly Unruly. Marcus Trufant, aka Freddy Krueger. Jessica Trufant, aka the Beetlejuice. I was the devil, but that shit got hot. I took that mask off. Took my mask off. Yeah. But of course, follow Marcus on Instagram, Marcus_Trufant, Jessica _Trufant. I'm media_Kels. Follow the page, Truly Unruly _podcast. And of course, watch us on YouTube and subscribe on Marcus Trufant's YouTube channel. You can listen to us on all streaming platforms. Please, you guys, subscribe, like, and leave us a nice review. Catch us every Sunday on the Converge Network. And I think that's it. So yeah, anything else you guys want to say?
Don't go to sleep.
All right.
Oh,
Freddy's coming.
Jesus Christ. I don't know.
Real
What would
quick before we cut
Beetlejuice
off,
say?
Marcus, I'm gonna get real personal for a second before we end this, like just really, really, really quick. If you guys do it tonight, keep the glove on. You gotta wear the glove and the hat.
Let me see. Maybe
Or
the
at least
hat.
wear the hat.
Maybe the sweater.
Jess, you gotta wear the wig.
If he keeps
Jess, you
those
gotta wear the
gold
wig.
teeth in his mouth, right? No.
You shining, boy. You shining.
I'm here. Hey.
Oh man.
Mama.
All right, y'all. Till next time. Peace and love.